So, so what we should do next is we should save the scene into the folder. I've already done it because I had a few problems, but yeah, name it whatever you would like. I'm going to save as, and what we're going to do next is, well, we're going to start making our table. So let's get a polygon cylinder. We just drag and drop, same as what we did with the cube. Like I work dragging out to how big we want it, and then click again to decide how tall you would like it. So we've got our tabletop. Now we've got a bit of a problem here because it's too many polygons, so when we render it'll take slightly longer, and we don't really need all these polygons. So what I'm going to do in the channel box is change the subdivision axes to 8, because that's what we require, and we can smooth it. So to smooth we can press 3 and so on and so forth. So we've got my table, it's looking fine. I might want the edges to be slightly more harsh, you could put it, or like a bit more edged. So I'm going to put in insert edge loop tool. I'm going to put one close to this edge and one close to that edge, so when I smooth it we get this nice little sharp edge for our table. So next what I'm going to do next is go into Window and then go down to Outliner and rename it to Tabletop, so I can have it there later on. Now what I'm going to do, because I want to make my legs next, but I think the table is going to be somewhat in the way. To do that, go into the channel box, select our object, set the visibility to off, and I know which one it is because in my outliner it's called Tabletop. Next we're going to create the leg, so we're going to do another cylinder and do the same thing. But then going to take the divisions down again, because like I said before, we don't really need 20 divisions, as it tends to make the rendering slower, takes longer, so on and so forth. So I'm just scaling my table leg to something that I would like something a bit thin and a bit long, as I've done so. I then want to center it, so in the channel box I selected these 3 and pressed 0 and enter. Now we could do the same thing for the smoothing with the insert edge loop tool, however we could just delete these faces, as if it was being rendered we won't really see them, and it also helps save some rendering time because it's not trying to render something it can't see. So we'll just select these faces and hit backspace to delete them. We then want to go back to object mode, and we can see that we've got our leg. If we smooth it, we can see that it's got them straight edges. So this is a bit boring. We want to kind of make it a bit more interesting. So what we could do is, if you ever seen them them tables with bulges on them, if you know what I mean, we can easily make that with 3 edge loop tools. So we're going to add one there, one up about here, and then one in the middle. This is the one that we're going to manipulate. We could go back to selecting the edges, so we want to use the select tool up here, and we could just double click and it will select the whole circle around it. What we're going to use next is the scale tool, and we're going to use the one in the middle, like the square or the cube in the middle, and as you can see we're obviously bulging it out, and if we smooth it we get that nice little bulge that we see on some tables. We could do loads of little different things. I mean, if you didn't really want the bulge and you want the table legs that stick around the side, what we could do is insert other edge loops. So we could go back into edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, and we're gonna do the same thing again, just put a couple here and there. We're gonna try and make the table leg curve. Now what we could do is we will select the vertex, and this is one way you could do it. You can just select all of them. Don't know why these ones aren't selecting. Okay, object. Oops. because I'm not using the selection tool. That's why. If you want to select things, just always try and remember to use the select tool. Otherwise, you might have like a bit of a trouble thinking, oh, why ain't it let me select that? But yeah, what we do is we rotate it slightly and we just keep going. But then we deselect these, and what we can do to deselect them is if we hold the shift button and then highlight them again, like with the drag box, it will just unhighlight, it will just de-highlight them, and then we can rotate it again, and so on and so forth. But what we could do is I'm gonna do the whole edge thing again. Like I want my table to be bulged, but maybe make it a bit more thin at one end. So let's move this one slightly down. We could add another edge loop into here, and I'm gonna manipulate this one, and I'm gonna make it strinked. So yeah, we get this nice little bulged table leg. So what we're gonna do next is we want 4 of these. So I'm gonna show you guys in a second how to use the edge loop tool.